Hi, I'm Jana Gordon-Elliott from the Department of Psychiatry. Now we're going to speak about vagus nerve hacks. So sometimes we get acutely overwhelmed and we need a skill that's there to reset our brains so we can move on, so we can keep doing our work or get back into the moment or just feel better. When we're anxious and panicked, our sympathetic nervous system, that's the fight, flight, or freeze system, is supercharged. We can't tell it to stop, but we can put a brake on it by activating its counterpart. That's the parasympathetic nervous system. The vagus nerve, which is the wandering nerve, it's called that because it wanders from our brain down through our chest and into our abdomen, is a major controller of the parasympathetic nervous system. We can trigger the vagus nerve with a few simple techniques, and as a result, increase our parasympathetic response, which will help us physiologically calm down. So what are some vagus nerve hacks you can do in a pinch? Well, because the vagus nerve runs through the neck and by the vocal cords, a few things that you can do are using your vocal cords to activate the vagus nerve. So humming, singing, or chanting the sound Om, like you would in yoga, are all things that you can do to activate the vagus nerve. Gargling too, so gargling with some warm water will activate the vagus nerve as well. So maybe you could go into the bathroom really quickly and maybe just put a little bit of warm water into your mouth and gargle that for half a minute or so. While you're in the bathroom, you might also take some cold water, very, very cold, and splash your face with cold water. So splashing very cold water into your face as a shock to the system activates the vagus nerve and will cause that parasympathetic activation. Valsalva maneuvers, so that would be things like bearing down, will be helpful to activate the vagus nerve. Belching, which is also involves that Valsalva technique, is not something that you would do amongst others, but is something that does seem to activate the vagus nerve and can have that immediate calming effect. Deep, slow breaths. So this is known to activate the vagus nerve, causing increase in vagus tone, which causes parasympathetic activation and physiologic calming. So these would be slow rhythmic breathing where you are inhaling through your nose, exhaling longer than the inhale, and slowly and rhythmically, allowing the belly to go out or kind of rise with the inhalation and fall back down with the exhalation. And lastly, though there are many, the last one I will mention is loving kindness meditation. One way to activate the vagus nerve is to have positive thoughts, loving thoughts, or to think about others in the world, to think beyond ourselves. Loving kindness meditation, which you can learn about in another video in this series, is a kind of meditation where you are led through thinking of positive thoughts about yourself. And in extended versions, you also put out positive thoughts or compassionate thoughts about others in the world. And this kind of meditation has been shown to activate the vagus nerve and increase parasympathetic tone. So these are all some quick hacks that you could do, some of which you could even do on the run while you're in the hospital to calm your physiology and feel a little bit better so that you can move on, get your work done, and feel just a little bit more in control of your body and mind. Give them a try, see what you think.